And 5, 4, 3, kind of approximate, 2, 1. All right, I think we're live. We're live here with UB and Andy. Hi, guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hello to our Cypher family out there in the world on Facebook. And yeah, thanks so much for joining me today. Really appreciate having you on the show. This is, I think, our 4th interview. And yeah, we really like to just share your story. So for the audience at home who might not know about you guys already, let's start with UB if possible. Could you please share where you grew up and how you came to live in the Bay Area and how you joined Cypher? What inspired you to join Cypher back when?
Sure. So I was born in Mongolia and I came to America in 2002. So the first city that I landed in was Oakland. So I like to say that I grew up in the Oakland, Piedmont area because that's where I went to high school and whatnot.
That's where I went with Sue. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I grew up in Montclair.
Oh, you did? Oh, so
Yeah.
I used to go to Montera Middle School. So I
What?
actually,
Same here.
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. Well, I was high school class of 01, so I don't know how much that kind of separates
Yeah.
us. But yeah, Terra Dome.
Yeah, I was around that area a lot because my mom worked, so I would wait for her to get off work from school.
Oh, that's funny.
She got remarried in 2010, so I lived in the Central Valley for a while and went to college there. But I like to say I grew up in Oakland, Piedmont area.
Mm-hmm.
And what inspired me to join CrossFit was back in July 2017, where you guys had that challenge, Average to Awesome.
Right.
You know, I Googled it, and like pricing wise, it sounded reasonable, and it was like a great opportunity to try out a gym and try out the community and try out the coaches, just 6-week challenge program. So I signed up for it, and here I am.
Just not knowing anything about CrossFit gyms, or did you do a little research?
No, I didn't. I always wanted to try CrossFit, but I was never like into fitness or sports or anything. So I just said, why not? Like, you know, I just moved to this apartment and I was feeling independent and free and I wanted to try new things. So I said, why not? I'll try it.
All right, awesome. And you guys were together at this time?
No.
Already? No, okay, so you met along the way. Okay, that makes it more interesting. All right, so for you, Andy, kind of your story. Where did you grow up? How did you come to the Bay Area, and what inspired you to join?
Yeah, so I grew up in a small suburban town in South Bay called Saratoga, and I've been living in the Bay Area my whole life, and grew up in a average nuclear family type of setting. Well, I was exposed to sports just from a very early age. So I was lucky that my mom in particular actually influenced me to get involved in community sports and sports at school. So I primarily got like my fitness education, if you will, from just team sports. And that carried on through, high school, middle school. And also in particular before that, I got really into swimming at a very early age because I was involved in a summer camp called Junior Lifeguards and spent many summers in Santa Cruz.
My wife did that too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. And I did that for a number of years. So like by the time I was in high school, I was pretty strong swimmer. And so I used that as kind of a main vehicle to stay fit. And
what was your favorite event?
My favorite. I didn't really have an event in swimming, but I just did it as a event in junior lifeguards. I liked the relays a lot. Like the run, swim, run relays was really fun.
Like partner workouts then.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
That's why you're good at running.
Yeah, and like I also just kind of ran on my own a lot growing up, and it's just a lot of running and swimming is kind of my history there.
Yeah.
And then like up until about a few, like 4 or 5 years ago, kind of in my mid-20s, I got really into rock climbing. And that became like my main sport, and because I didn't really have the bandwidth to take on like swimming all the time and rock climbing all the time.
Yeah.
I
Oh, that
kind of,
pulling strength probably helped from swimming.
yeah, for sure. I decided like just to stick with climbing, and I did that for a few years, and that kept me in pretty good shape. That combined with running and then some kind of light calisthenic workouts here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
and then
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and then up
One thing
until
led
like
to another.
yeah, and up until a couple of weeks ago, or not a couple of years ago, I got
She got
involved
you.
with, yeah, she got me convinced on this CrossFit stuff, and yeah,
Took on a life of its own.
yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
All right, wonderful. And just back to you, be reflecting back over that time. So you started, I actually had to look it up. You started about a year before he did. And during that time, did you guys start dating, or what was the time? How did it overlap with you guys getting to know each other versus you starting in the gym?
Well, I think I remember like on our first date, I was really on the high from the CrossFit workouts and whatnot. So I was like,
Okay.
well, yeah, I wake up at 5 every day and I go work out like 4 times a week. And I remember blabbing about it. But I was mainly doing CrossFit alone for a while, and because back then he used to live in the North Bay.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so and until he moved over here closer to Richmond, then I started convincing.
Nice. Probably didn't take long.
Yeah,
I say CrossFitters just like are one of those groups of people that can't stop talking about it, so you just kind of get bombarded, worn down.
Then back then I did the morning workout, and when I did the morning workout and my body wasn't so used to it, I felt like nothing could touch me after a workout. I was in such a great mood.
Yeah.
Like, traffic didn't bother me, like people didn't bother me. I was in this like high cloud 9, like great mood.
Yeah,
And
shout out to the morning people. If you can do it, it really does like change your day's trajectory.
it changes, I feel like it changes your entire week, especially if you start out on a Monday.
Yeah. Hardest part of your day, done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. And reflecting back over that time, I don't know if you guys have like thought about your bright spots, but like obviously you've been super consistent. To me, that's an amazing bright spot over that long stretch of time. Do you have anything that like PRs or moments that stick out in your mind as like great memories?
Do you want to go?
Sure. Yeah, there's no like specific PRs because I don't really nothing really jumps out to me. I mean, I'm sure I got stronger and got was lifting heavier weights, but to me what really sticks out for me as a bright spot is just overall feeling much better and feeling more healthy, having more stamina and more energy throughout the day, and just having like no discomfort with my back, because historically like I spent a lot of time sitting for my job, and I was getting when I wasn't working out as much before CrossFit, I was getting a lot of discomfort and back pain, and then since doing CrossFit and getting to a point where I was going 3 or 4 times a week, my back discomfort and pain was like virtually gone. And
that's amazing.
And like I just felt better, felt stronger, more confident in my body. Natural movements I became more confident in just natural movements, picking things up, just going about my day. Like I felt like I was way more energetic. So that was the big thing for me, was just feeling good.
Yeah, kudos, man. We know a lot of people like work in computers or, in the office setting all day, and they tend to kind of just live with pain, and just figuring out you can take control and make it better and not have to live with that. That's really empowering. So kudos.
Thanks.
Awesome. And how about for you, Yubi? What's some bright spots that stick out in your mind?
I mean, I think it's the same, overall I have like increased mobility, increased coordination, that I can do a lot of stuff with my body that I didn't know I was able to do at the same time, like move my legs, move my arm and everything.
Yeah, rope climbs pretty recently too, I think, right?
Say
I
what?
think we got rope climbs recently.
Rope climbs have always been my favorite. I don't know if I've improved in it, but I've definitely know how to climb a rope, and
Yeah,
I think you're thinking of double unders.
double unders too. Yeah.
Yeah, like double unders is one achievement. I mean, at one point I squatted like 170 that I'd like to get to. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely numbers, but overall, just better health, like better sleep cycles, and I feel stronger. I have more muscles because I think prior to CrossFit, I didn't have a single muscle developed.
We're just
And
hibernating, ready to come out.
yeah, and then I think one thing that I'm always proud of is doing overhead weights. So when I remember specifically when I started at Cypher, I wasn't able to lift the barbell overhead. That's only 35 pounds, right?
Empty, yeah.
But now I've I think recently I did a jerk and it was like 110 overhead.
Yeah.
And it makes
skill days.
Yeah, and it makes me feel proud that I can see the progress that I've come,
Yeah, that's such a big difference in reflecting. Like empty bar, can't even do it, to over 100 pounds in the bar. It's gotta be because you've gotten better.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just the weight that got smaller or whatnot. It definitely got smaller. So
Yeah.
I just like to increase mobility and stuff. And one thing that CrossFit gives me, it helps me clear my mind. And it's only one thing that in my life that I can be in the present all at the same time, like my mind and my body in the present moment. Because my brain's functioning a lot and thinking multiple things. I'm working, I'm thinking, what to eat for dinner, what to do while I'm working. So when I'm working out, it's just I'm in the present, nothing else. I'm not thinking about anything. So it's nice that way.
That's amazing. And it's those are so many things that hit home right now too. It's kind of obvious, you want to keep that going because it's so integral to your guys' health and you've realized how much that matters. But I still want to ask anyway, both working from home right now, we hear it all the time from everybody, how difficult it is to just get started. If you're in your home office, which might be your living room, you get changed in the bedroom, you come back out. How do you guys self-start when it is there's not a process for going to the gym as much as there is just okay, here I go. How do you guys motivate to get moving where a lot of people struggle?
So we don't go outside during work, or we try to limit it so that we're working throughout the day. And then our biggest motivation is to get fresh air at least once a day, right? So we just get dressed in a workout gear. We go outside, get a fresh air. And while we're getting the fresh air, might as well work out because we're already dressed. So we try to stop thinking about, oh my God, I have to work out. It's just, let's go get some fresh air and then do it while we're at it.
Okay.
I feel like that has helped a lot because sometimes you're oh, I got to work out, but I don't feel like it, and you just kind of convince yourself and lie to yourself, I just need fresh air, and get yourself outside. And then
that's interesting.
And everything will just, take its place after.
So you guys are taking some of your gear outside and going and doing it then, or is the walk how you come to getting into a workout mode at home?
We used to walk. So there's a field open that has been great for us to work out at because our place is so small that both of us can't work out at the same time. So since that field has been open, before we used to carry the dumbbells all the way over, farmer carry as a warm up and do the workout. But we started driving to the field and just kind of doing the workout there and then just driving back. And one of the reasons we're driving is we just leave the dumbbells in the car.
Yeah, got it. Less of a workout just to get there.
Yeah.
It is quite a bit of a walk. So
yeah, it is.
We started to realize, well, we don't need to be burnt out by the time we get there just by carrying these things all the way there.
Yeah. Just remove the obstacle. You can do a little drive and it's fine.
Yeah. But
that's awesome, you guys. You got a whole cathartic process for getting started, which is just as simple as getting out the front door and going. That's really powerful because otherwise you're kind of if I spin in a circle, I'm still in the same place. How do I get motivated to exercise?
And
All right. Well,
I mean, I feel like we're more motivated just Monday through Friday because we want to get work off of our minds and switch off. But over the weekend, trust me, I'm circling in the bedroom.
just gotta do some laps and get started. All right. Well, maybe Andy can answer about like code motivation and synergy. So like, do you guys kind of lean on each other, or does one person lead, or are you guys usually just like both feeling the same vibe? How does that work for you guys?
Sometimes either of us are kind of not super motivated to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're kind of tired and we're not super motivated to
do
anything that day, or we're just like, you know, burnt out or whatever. But usually that's when the other kind of leans in and says, hey, you know, we need to get this done. Let's just get it done, and we know we're going to feel good after we do it. So with that constant knowledge and, you know, the evidence to support that, you know, we're going to have good sleep, and just we're going to feel great afterwards. And that kind of motivates us to get out there and get going. So
yeah,
like sometimes we're kind of at different levels. Like she might be really excited to go out, and I'm like kind of passed out on the couch and I don't want to do anything. At the end of the day, she'll like come and kind of motivate me to.
Takes a lot of convincing.
It takes a little bit of
ice bucket challenge.
convincing. You know, sometimes we're both not on the same level, but at least we have the other to kind of balance each other out.
Right, so you're not kind of stuck in your own stuff.
Yeah,
it really helps having a buddy.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. You guys can lean on each other that way. All right, well, I really appreciate that you guys see the whole health picture and holistic picture, and you're like, all right, we're doing this because of like better sleep, better lifestyle, but the workouts are still hard. So in the middle of the workout, are you like, all right, I'm going to sleep better, so push through it? Or what do you tell yourself in the middle to rally yourself? Or do you just kind of like back off a little bit? Like, how do you manage the difficulty of still doing burpees and pushing through?
It's not easy. And
I keep reminding myself that it's only short term. Like, I was like, well, this is only going to last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be over soon.
Like real soon. So I'm just like, through this, because I mean, I know this is something I have to do, but it's not going to last like all night, you know?
Right,
so
right.
I'm going to be uncomfortable for like a little bit, but
it's only short term.
I can also kind of psych myself up and get into overdrive.
Yeah.
Just, you know, get myself fired up and just push myself through it, kind of get into the moment of it.
Yeah. Just forget about what's going to happen later.
Yeah.
I think for me, if I start it, then I'm like, there's nothing else to do other than to finish it. So if you've noticed my workouts though, like I haven't been meeting with certain minute caps or whatnot, because I'm not really worried about it. I'm just like, it's me doing it and it's me getting it done, you know? So if I start it and halfway through is the most difficult point, I'm like, okay, I got 2 more rounds, or I got, 10 more minutes, just like, let's just finish it.
So, I mean, it's just all about mentally like breaking down the task. I mean, I'm really only thinking about like, all right, just keep doing reps, just keep cranking them out, and eventually it's all going to be over and you're going to feel amazing. And that's kind of that's kind of like what's going through my head when I'm doing it.
Yeah, just breaking down the task. These are like life wisdoms, you guys. Are you like applying this stuff throughout your life, or is this like workout time?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure you work on some big like coding projects and you're like, all right, this is just like the one rep I got to focus on right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole agile methodology, and I try to apply that to pretty much everything. It's all about just taking large kind of nebulous abstract goals and then breaking them down into concrete objectives. And that's really all there is to it, is just breaking those things down as far as you can and then prioritizing.
So wonderful.
If I start like a series, I can't move on to anything else unless I finish that series. So like during Shelter in Place, I started The Office because I've never seen it. So I
really?
The entire 9 seasons, and Andy had to wait for me to finish that in order to watch a single movie.
You've like locked down the TV for a while.
So that's just me. Like if I start something, I have to finish it in order to move on to something else.
Yeah, well, that makes you relentless if it's a workout. So kudos for having that mindset. That's awesome. All right, you guys. So thinking about, we're actually like, putting together plans where we have our fingers crossed. It's not in our control, but we'll still plan for getting back in the gym. What do you guys miss the most? And maybe on the other side, what are you looking forward to the most on potentially getting back in the gym soon?
I miss barbell workouts, doing some
Yes.
deadlifts. Deadlifts have always been my favorite. And then I miss just seeing people and like being in that. I mean, Andy is supportive, but I miss being in that like supportive and cheerful community where everybody's, applauding your PR and whatnot. I kind of just miss the community feeling of it.
Yeah.
Same with me. Like I miss a lot of the equipment. I'm really eager to get back on the bar,
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
and also rowing. I really miss.
I miss
too.
the road.
Yeah.
Rowing is really
Yeah.
my alley, and I miss having that option. And yeah, also just like the occasional games and the camaraderie with the community, and the occasional parties that we have. I miss those.
Definitely.
After workout.
Yeah, the occasional beers with people after workouts, and
Yes. Oh man, I think that could still happen for sure. We can put some beer 6 feet apart and have at it.
Fun warm-up games.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely looking forward to all that to you guys. And yeah, I would love to throw a great party as soon as that's like good to go. We
Yeah.
really appreciate it more now.
Yeah,
Sweet. Yeah.
exactly.
Awesome. Well, just thinking holistically, so on the nutrition side, we know like I've gained like 5. I've kind of fluctuated. I'm finally like more motivated now than at the beginning. But how is that going for you? We know it's a uniquely challenging time. How have you done your best to stay on track with healthy eating?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we haven't been trying that hard. I think our eating habits hasn't changed as much pre-COVID. But like personally, I used to eat lunch 5 days. I used to buy lunch 5 days of the week. So now we're cooking every breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we just tried to limit our takeouts to at least 2 or 3 a week. And like cooking all the time, like 3 times a day, gets boring super easily. So we try to like put some, nice takeouts here and there to make it exciting. But I think we've been doing pretty well. I think we've just been keeping it consistent. I actually weighed myself over Mother's Day, and I'm the same weight, so thank God.
Kudos.
Yeah.
You guys are already in the healthy routine with the workouts, so that makes sense that you would then fuel yourselves the same. Has it been about the same for you, Andy? Just kind of keeping on going?
Yeah. Well, like you, I bought takeout lunches from vendors pretty much every day of the week before COVID, and now I'm making my lunches for the most part. And the cool thing about that is you have a lot more portion control.
That's true.
It's been easier it's not all that different from what I would normally eat, but it is, at least I feel like I have a little bit more control over portion and just the overall size of the meal.
And I think knowing we try to incorporate more vegetables, like even in during lunch, we try to incorporate, baby carrots or broccoli somewhere over there.
Yeah. Where are you guys mostly doing your shopping at?
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then we occasionally get stuff from Costco, like blueberries. We've been making a lot of blueberry protein smoothies. So
very nice.
That's one of our favorite breakfast items.
Yeah, I have a banana blueberry smoothie that I have like most of the weekdays. It's good to go. All right, awesome. Well, you talked about the office marathon a little bit. Outside of health and fitness and work, what are you guys doing to keep positively engaged? Any other shows or activities or catching up with family time?
Yeah, every 2 weeks we try to visit our parents. So Mother's Day weekend we visited his parents, and this weekend we're gonna visit mine. We just try to keep 2 weeks in between, just in case. Who knows? Been cooking a lot, picking up new recipes
New recipes, nice.
trying to get better at it every time you make it, because it's a new recipe. I've been doing a lot of organization around here, throwing out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, home projects.
Yeah, and a bunch of binge watching.
There you go. How about for you, Andy? Anything else?
Yeah, and also just keeping tabs with people, like having conference calls, happy hours on like virtual happy hours with friends, family, and colleagues. So trying to, do that on a pretty regular basis. So that's been going well.
That's great. Do you guys think you've had any breakthroughs or learned anything from this process of being at home that would be useful for yourself and for other people to hear about? Like the exercises, knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to yourself at the start of this process when we were all a little shocked that this was happening?
I think try to keep a positive outlook. That helped me personally, because that first week in shelter in place, I was like super bummed. I actually, my motivation came from joining a Zoom class with you where I held the pans like that.
The pots and pans.
that gave me the ultimate motivation that I've kept up.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt so down. I was eating, like super depressed, but I joined that workout and I just got super energy and I just, energetic and just kept up with that. So
that makes me happy, Yubi. Thank you for sharing that.
So if anybody's feeling down and whatnot, just, I guess, join the Zoom class or try to, get in touch with the community that you feel comfortable and that can encourage you. I think that and then 2, so be positive and join your community. And then 3, I think just be patient. I think
I've heard that from everyone. I think be patient.
Yeah, we're all losing patience here and there. I mean, I haven't even hugged my parents in 3 months, so I'm like eager to hug them.
Yeah.
So I think a little bit of patience goes a long way.
Long way. Yeah. Anything to add to that, Andy?
Yeah, I would say at the beginning, it surprised me how much I could actually do with less. You know what I mean? So just simplifying my schedule, not having access to a gym, I thought was going to be a really hard struggle to get through. But actually in some ways it was liberating, and I didn't realize how quickly and how resilient I was going to be in being able to account for all of those changes, being housebound and having to stay inside. It's just, I would just remind myself and I would urge others that just because you have to stay inside, it doesn't mean you have to be activityless.
Right.
I would say go outside and figure something out, and just always give yourself some time to be active and to move. So you need a surprising little amount. That's what this whole experience has taught me, to truly be a healthy individual.
That's wonderful.
So it's given me a lot of tools to get by with less, I would say.
That's wonderful, and that's something you can carry with you even once we're in the other side of this. Although it won't be going back, we'll be going forward with this wisdom.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, awesome, you guys. Well, thanks so much. Do you have any other thoughts or shout outs for this time, or for anyone else you're thinking of right now?
I think just shout out to you guys, because I feel like you guys have taken this shelter in place challenge and just, supported everyone through the entire process. You were always there, I mean, what's his name? Roland, sorry.
Yeah,
Roland texts us every morning, just checks in, it doesn't have to be about the workout, just a normal chit chat. I think you guys have done a great job with this transition, and also shout out to Cypher members, miss seeing everyone, and I hope we can see each other again very soon.
Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a lot of the stuff you guys are sharing and applying it myself, and we'll carry it forward long after this is over. So thank you so much for your feedback and wisdom.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much.
Yes. All right, you guys. Well, it's been a pleasure sharing your story, and check it out on the Facebook. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Okay.
Yep.
All right, sounds
Awesome.
good.
Take care. Have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.